Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the Intuitive Hour, Awaken Your Inner Voice. Thank you all for being with me here today for another episode. All right, we are talking about resolving and releasing emotional drama and turmoil from our past. I've been receiving a fair amount of questions regarding this topic, and so this is in response to that. Some of you have shared that you're dealing with pain from the past in some regard. And indeed, sometimes we do have unresolved and painful emotions that we need to face head on. And for some reason, we're not, or we don't know how. Really taking a good look at these things that are poking at you emotionally, that are unresolved, kind of tucked away, ready to come forward. Dealing with that ultimately brings us peace of mind and harmony and ease, not only with the person that we have this matter on going with, but it's also essential in maintaining our own mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health and well-being. Hiding, burying, denying any kind of emotional pain simply compounds the matter, and the unresolved emotion only resurfaces, perhaps in time, but it does resurface and much stronger. This toxicity of sorts can manifest as insomnia, hostility, anger, fear, or even anxiety. So really tune into any of these emotions that you're having and ask yourself if it's connected to something unresolved in the past. It's essential to learn how to process these feelings of anger and fear. There's nothing wrong with the fact that we have them. The error is in not processing it and feeling the emotions and moving through this. The last thing to do would be to internalize these very highly charged emotions and then falsely begin believing the issue was your own fault. Guilt is one of the single most destructive and worthless emotions, depleting not only our spiritual life force, but impacting our physical and emotional selves through feelings of exhaustion, apathy, and ultimately depression. So again, it's so essential to process through all these emotions and find a tool that helps you release them. And that's what we're doing today. I hope you'll find this helpful. The good news here in this learning of processing and releasing pain is that you can learn to quickly identify these emotions, these painful feelings, and in that very moment, dissipate them. They can absolve. It doesn't take hours or weeks or months. It can take moments as you get better and better, just moments to learn how to identify them and then completely have them leave your space and dissipate. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this 7-step exercise. Number 1, recognize first and foremost that any pain or emotional trauma or drama is a very normal part of life, right? This just comes with life, stuff like this. So let's embrace that and recognize that concept. Suffering, however, is not a normal part of life. Pain is normal, suffering is not. There's a difference there. So knowing how to deal with and process pain is the doorway to stopping the toxic turmoil and emotion-filled dramatic space. When you learn how to process, deal with, and cope with pain, the suffering ceases to be. It's that simple. All right, number one, as we begin, let's locate where the pain is in your body. Ask yourself, where is the pain in my body? So in a comfortable, upright, and seated position, with your bare feet on the ground, soften your gaze. Pay attention to your breath. Take a few conscious breaths in and out, drawing your attention inward, being with the silence and being with the thoughtlessness, just listening as we identify where the pain is in your body. Now, I want to ask you to recollect an incident or a situation in the past that brought you concern, upset, or even anger. Perhaps someone spoke harshly to you. Were you mistreated? Was there a disagreement or an injustice with a friend or family member or even coworker? Bring this memory to the forefront and identify every aspect of it. Take some time as you recall this memory to hone into the details about the emotion-filled aspect of it. In your mind's eye, picture the event unraveling. What were the specific course of events? Even notice what you were wearing. Where were you? Who was near? What were they wearing? Do you hear anything? As if you were a newspaper reporter, recall as vividly as possible all these details. Recognize that as you are doing this, you are an observer of this event and you are disengaged from it. You are reporting from a neutral perspective. Resist going into the emotion of the event. You are watching it only. You are not the event, the argument, or the emotion you see. Rather, you are purely a bystander or a witness. You might imagine you're watching a movie in a movie theater. In this lucid, meditative space, you have a unique vantage point of calm, disengaged observation only. You cannot be pulled into the drama and intensity of the emotions. So now then, with this in mind, begin to identify exactly what you're feeling. If you could describe the incident and what you are experiencing in one word, what would that be? Think for a moment. And be as clear, succinct, and precise as possible as you search for that one word. Is it a feeling of disrespected, victimized, dishonored, embarrassed? Are you disappointed? Give the emotion or feeling that you're holding a name that accurately describes this poignant and painful experience. Once you have found this word, focus absolute attention on that word and say it out loud 3 times. Step 2. Be an observer of the pain and the related experience. As we spoke a moment ago, this is essential. You are an observer. Now, bring your attention inward to your physical body. Release all thoughts or concern about the world around you for the moment. Make an agreement with your subconscious self that you're going to come back to all of that at another time. Now, notice any physical sensations inside or outside your body as you have identified that emotion. The perspective you hold in your mind and the literal physical sensation in the body coupled together are essentially what we call emotion. They come hand in hand collectively. They're one. So this is why we use the term feeling, because we feel emotions in our physical body. Let your attention now pass through your body as you're recalling this experience. Locate the sensations that the memory brings up. And for many, it's a pressure in the chest or a sensation of tightness in the gut. Some of you might feel it as pressure in your throat. Find where it is in your body that you're feeling and holding the emotional experience. Step 3, communicating that emotion. Did you know that when you verbally express, you actually release the feeling? So we'll do that now. I want to ask you to take a moment to vocalize and express that feeling. Begin by rubbing your hands together for a few moments, and then place them on the part of your body where the feeling is emanating from. Now, say out loud, "I feel pain here. It hurts here." There might be more than one location. If so, put your hands on each part of your body where you feel the pain. And with your hands resting at that location, take a moment to inhale and exhale. And then restate what you're feeling, saying out loud, "I feel pain here. It hurts here." Understand that your body and every cell of your body knows when you feel pain. Do your best to make peace with and embrace or even befriend these sensations. Whether you believe it or not, there is wisdom, learning, and forward momentum in the experience of the pain. It is absolutely leading you to broader, richer, and a more whole you. This experience of physical discomfort through pain is telling you something is unbalanced in your life experience, be it physical, mental, or spiritual. It is a gift of awareness coming to you. You might also consider expressing your feelings through writing or journaling. Some of you are more physical body inclined, so you'll express through body movement. Whatever way works for you, it's essential to find ways to release and resolve and express this emotion. Communicating the emotion, part of the process and very essential. All right, step 4. Taking responsibility and stating that out loud. I like to call this, I am taking ownership. Recognize that your pain equates to your feelings. They're the same thing. So in essence, pain equals emotional feelings. These emotions and these feelings are taking place in your body as you remember the pain, even though nothing is taking place in the material world around you now. Just your memory is enough to bring it back. So in your recalling, your body is reacting with real physiological processes like muscle contractions, hormonal secretions, and other literal physical sensations. Again, just because of the memory recall. That is how powerful it is. What's more, even when the painful incident was occurring in the material world, not necessarily by recall as we are doing right now, but when that was actually occurring, the effect was also entirely within you. So, this lets you begin to understand that you actually have more control than you realize. You literally have a choice in how you interpret and respond to emotional turmoil or pain. As you begin to make this recognition and awareness, this very essential recognition and awareness, you're going to begin to also take ownership and responsibility of your feelings. You begin to see how the two are connected. So what to do next? Let go of any guilt feelings about this. Recognize your ability to respond to painful situations in a new way. By taking ownership of your feelings, you also gain the power to make the pain melt away. You're no longer blaming anyone else for having caused the pain. So you no longer must depend on anyone else to make it go away. Resonate and stew in this new understanding for the next few moments. All right, moving on to step 5, resolving and releasing the emotion right now. Okay, go back to the part of your body where you're holding pain. Gaze here. Hold your energy and focus here for a few moments. Breathe in and breathe out. With every exhale, imagine breathing out the pain. Visualize the pain as a mist. Give it a color and watch it dissipate up and away. Stay in this very powerful sacred space for a few moments and focus with clear and deliberate intention to feel the pain release and leave your body. You might notice a wave of emotion release from you. Tears fall from your eyes, vibration or tingling in your body. You might notice a spontaneous verbal releasing, a guttural sound or audible tone of some kind just releases to you, from you, automatically. This is the pain releasing through sounds of expression. If you're someone who practices yoga, you might be a little more familiar with this. Very spontaneous and natural verbal expression. Releasing is happening as you do this. Resolve is happening. Emotional balance and healing is happening. Some of you may want to get up and move or bend over, or let your head hang and your body hang. You might want to stretch or even dance. This is perfectly fine. And it's just more release through your physical movement and body. If you feel it, do it. All right, moving on to step 6, celebrating with your social group, celebrating with your peeps, so to speak, I like to say. So when I say this, what I mean by this is that we all have our support groups, our family, our friends. They're there for a reason. When you share the outcome of this powerful exercise of releasing your pain, you are literally activating a new pattern of behavior on the heels of the old painful pattern. You might imagine speaking to the person as follow-up to this who was involved in this incident. You don't have to go to them directly. Just imagine it. Who was involved in that original painful incident? If they were here now, what would you say? What would you communicate? What would you celebrate with them? Remember that this person, he or she, was not really the true cause of your pain. The true cause of the pain was your response. And as we know, you're now responsible and taking ownership for that. Now, having transformed and released, you are liberated and set free. You can now share with others without blame, manipulation, or seeking approval. So once again, to recap this step, be sure to share it with those people around you. Someone, a confidant, someone you trust and are close with. Talk to them about this. Celebrate this new way of being. Number 7, as we come to a close, resting your head in peace of mind. Take some time to celebrate the painful experience that happened, because it was the very thing that helped you move to a higher state of being. So indeed, you'll share this and celebrate it with someone around you. Talk about it, express. But internally now, we're talking about accepting this experience as something that has moved you forward to a next level up, if you will. A new level of consciousness. Rather than responding to the situation with a pain reflex of some sort, which in essence really only serve to perpetuate the problem, you've now created an opportunity for spiritual transformation. That is indeed something to celebrate. Be sure to take some time to do that. Remember that you can repeat this exercise whenever you feel these emotions, upset, anger, anxiety, to free yourself from emotional turmoil or underlying pain, something that's stuck from the past. All right, everyone. We will bring this episode to a close. I hope you've enjoyed this 7-step process to releasing emotional turmoil. If you have any questions about this exercise or any one of the episodes, please reach out at mbeltran@michellebeltran.com. And I look forward to seeing you all here next week.
Thanks for listening to the Intuitive Hour with Michelle Beltran. If you like what you heard, please share our podcast with a friend. And be sure to visit michellebeltran.com to get Michelle's popular Develop Your Clairvoyance ebook.